Welcome to the Crypto Domain, your front row seat to crypto's biggest moves. Let's have a look at the week ahead. So we know that sentiment is being a bit cautiously bullish at the moment. Bitcoin's been holding that 105K mark after we hit that 111, 112K peak, right? We've got the bears pushing back. We've got analysts warning that we could dip below that 100K support level, which would be quite a problem. Fear and greed it was pulling back for the last few days, but we're starting to see that pick up a little bit. And we'll touch on that a bit later. The momentum is cooling though a bit. We've definitely seen that in the market. We've got some big events coming up this week. We've got the SEC DeFi Roundtable. Now that's on June the 6th, so that could spark some regulatory buzz. You've got FTX, that 5 billion creditor payouts, that's still going on at the moment. One of the things I think, what are your thoughts? Is it really fair that they're getting paid out their crypto and it's valued at November 2022 prices? Like, really? Anyway. What else? You got things like virtual and white and that, which we saw trending during the week. So we'll have a look at the crypto bubbles and that a bit later and sort of see what's moving at the moment. There's definitely a lot of volatility in the market though at the moment. So we really have to keep our wits about us, keep an eye on the charts, keep an eye on the sentiment. Now we need to keep an eye on Bitcoin's 108K resistance level as well, as we've got more macro triggers coming through like Powell's speech. So we know that just hours ago, Fed Chair Powell did his speech. It stirred the markets. It delivered a vague signal, though, on rates, but sparked a slight pump in Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you like. We have seen those start to move up a bit. Now, investors are on edge. They're seeking clarity amongst the tariffs and the fears that surround the tariffs that have been going on lately. So could this actually be the turning point in crypto for 2025? You've had the Golden Cross pullback. You've had Bitcoin 2025 in Vegas, pullback, same as the year before. You had the China tariff news. Now, are we starting now to see that turning point that we're looking for the next leg up? Well, that's what we need to keep an eye on, right? Let's have a look at the market, have a look at what's happening in the market, have a look at the crypto bubbles, some things like that. Okay, so let's put the seeing eyes on again. That's better. Okay, we're at 3.4 trillion market cap. We've got a volume of 99.5, so not massive, but not unusual in the market we're in after the weekend, all those things. You got BTC at 61% still. We really still want to see that start to come down. You got Ethereum at 9.15, so combined, they're over 70%. We've got trending, we've got SOFN, 39%. You got Hyperliquid and SWE. Now, Hyperliquid, as we know, that's the one I did the video on last week, specifically on that chart, on that token. You've got Bitcoin at 105, as I mentioned, so slight move on the 24-hour. You're getting, Ethereum at 4% up. You're definitely getting more green today, which is good to see. Hyperliquid 7.5. What else we got here? You got a Pepe at 8.7, so that's a decent move again for the meme coins. You've got definitely more green, so that is good to see. After the last couple of days of all that red, you got Athena at 6.6, and we'll see that when we get to the fear and greed that we're starting to see that turn maybe in the sentiment. Bonk at 4.4. Whiff 11.6. Wow. Okay, so let's have a look at the crypto bubbles. So we'll go to the 1 to 100. So we can see here definitely a lot more green in the market. White at 12.1. Now, we talked about that on the Saturday video. It was having a good run. It's got a lot of bullish sentiment on X. You got Whiff and Say doing well. Sky 11.1, Pepe at 8.2, as I mentioned. So good to see a bit more green in the market. And that continues as we look in here, right? And we look into the 100 to 200. Look, for the week, we're still seeing red because we have had a lot of red over the last few days after the sort of, as we've had before from the pullback from that conference as we spoke about. You've then got the fear and greed index here. So we've got that at 64. So yesterday was at 64. Just before that, it was at 50 though. So we are seeing that sentiment change and turn around. So is this where we start to see maybe that move into the next leg? So, we had the Bitcoin 2025 conference. We had that run up green, bit of a buy the rumors, sell the news. We had that pullback, same as we saw last year in Nashville. Exact same thing happened. We had the green run up and the pullback after the conference. We've had the golden cross, so the pullback after the golden cross, which we see quite a bit. We've had the tariff news on China. So are we starting to see the bottom of that pullback before we now start to see maybe that next leg up? It'll be interesting to see, because there are plenty of analysts out there that are saying that we're probably going to go below 100K. They expect us to go below 100K, which, for me, that's fine. If we go below 100K, that's great. If we dump more, great. I'm a DCA. I'm a long-term player. I'm not a day trader. So for me, I believe we're still going to get to the bull run Q4 of this year, October, November time sort of thing. We'll get a bit of a run up in Q3. Definitely have more pullbacks as we go along the way, like we always have. So because I'm using the indicators and none of them have got to anywhere near where I'd expect them to be when we're at the top of this cycle, then for me, everything's still the same. There's nothing that's happened apart from the volatility that we normally get in the market. So for me, the pullbacks, etc., mentally, they don't worry me, and I'm fine. And that's the thing. Build that toolkit. Try and really master the mental side of this crypto, because that's what's going to wreck you. It'll wreck you mentally, but it will wreck you financially as well, because it'll be the times that you buy into the FUD or the FOMO and, buy at the top and you sell at the bottom and all those things. So really try and get your head around that part of it. Looking at the indicators, this is the one I'm going to be looking at the most this week without a doubt. So this is the RSI. I've been keeping an eye on this more because of where we are, and we're at 53.4. Now, we're below the 70, right, which is where we start to get that overbought signal. So there's still plenty of room on the upside on this chart for me, and that's where I'll be keeping an eye on this to see how this moves over the course of this week especially. The other chart I've been looking at is, or table if you like, that I've been looking at is this one here, which gives us a bit of an indicator. Look, there's no real trends. People will use this to look for trends in that, and there's not. They used to say 2 years ago that September is predominantly red, then we have two greens in a row. Okay, so look, we've gone green, red, green, red at the moment. The closest to that is 2020, which was green, red, green, red. Now, as we know, the back end of that year really pumped, but it pumped as we led into the bull run and the bull year of 2021, right? Heading up into that May before we had the pullback through, and we ended up getting back up near there in November. So, you could look at that. A lot of people that selling may go away. I'm not so sure we're going to finish June in the red this time around. But anyway, we'll see. It'll play out. But, keep an eye on that as well. That's on my weekly. That's one of the ones on my weekly indicator report that I post on X. So, follow on X. Crypto Domain X is the handle, where I post weekly the indicators that I'm following. Also post on there a category view on that for the week. Let's have a look at the coin market cap now. So this is the top 100 coins I do for this. So you can go in there, you can put keywords, you can look at whatever tokens you want. You can put top 300, whatever as well, put your dates. So this week we've got Hedera have a JavaScript update coming. Athena have a 40.63 million token unlock. So that's 0.7% of their supply. Jupiter have a DAO vote, and you've got the World Computer Summit happening as well. What else you got? You got KuCoin Pay partners with domain trading leader DN domain name, Radium and Bonk. So you can go in and have a look at what's going on with them, and you got the Anchor partner Spotlight. So there's a bit going on for those tokens, but as I said, this is a good tool just to go in any tokens you're interested in. as part of your research, see what's coming up for them. I like to, for the ones I'm looking at, I like to look at a month to 2 months ahead to see, what could be coming up that could impact the price. As always, reminder of Mt. Gox, the payments are pushed out to finish 31st of October 2025. Okay, so there's a lot happening in crypto this week, right? You've got Chairman Powell, which I've already spoken about, so that event's already taken place. You've got some other main events that are happening this week. You've got Tuesday, you've got the JOLTS job openings report coming out. Now, a drop below expectations on that might fuel some recession fears and put some pressure on the altcoin market. Wednesday, you got the ADP Non-Farm Payrolls data. Now, that could hint at the labour market cooling, possibly, sparking some volatility if numbers are disappointing in that. Thursday, you've got the weekly unemployment claims. Now, as with the other one, they may reveal job market strain, impacting investor confidence, especially in things like your DeFi projects and your altcoins, right? Friday's US non-farm payrolls report with 130,000 jobs expected and 4.2% unemployment rate could jolt markets if it misses that. And then finally, you've got the SEC DeFi Roundtable on June 6th. So that's a really big one. That may unveil regulatory shifts, shaking DeFi sentiment across the board. So you really need to keep an eye out for that one. So it's January the 6th. I'd definitely pen that one in your diary, not pencil it. These events could drive big swings in the market. So they expect a bit of volatility, I believe, still over this week. Let's see how they impact the charts. Comment below, do you think that the market will turn bullish or bearish over the course of this next week? We're starting it with a bit of sentiment coming up, but with news coming out each of those days, do you think we'll start to see that maybe come back? Anyway, guys, that's it for the week ahead. We've touched on Powell's market stir. We've touched on the markets. We've touched on the indicators that I'll be looking at. We've touched on key events to watch out for this week. So stay focused on as crypto navigates the volatility over the coming months, as I believe there is still a lot to play out over the next 6 months especially. Now, if you got value from this video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe, click the bell notification so you're notified when I post my next videos. And remember, crypto's an adventure. Get into it. I'll catch you in the next one.